Ladies and gentlemen, you can see right there the Richmond Football Club has #1 pick overall. What's going on, Godzirra Nation? This is ArghGodzirra, and welcome back, finally, to another AFL Evolution video. Thank you for joining me, as always. It's been a red hot minute since we played this game, but with AFL Evolution 2 currently in the works, I thought what better way to get the creative juices flowing than to do something that we haven't done with AFL Evolution before. And judging by the name of the title of the video, I think you guys have already worked out what we're doing. We are going to be doing an AFL Evolution Fantasy Draft Series. Now, if you've ever sat at home wondering what another player would look like in your favourite team's colours, or even if the AFL hit reset, where would every other player line up? This is definitely a series you're going to want to keep your eye on. I'm very keen to get into this. The downside to it, unfortunately, is it only goes for a season. We have to do it through competition mode, which is what we're going to do. We will play through one season as the team we draft, and if you guys want to see more of it, I am happy to continually do more annual drafts, draft different teams, play as different teams. But to kick this one off, we're playing with my boys, the Richmond Tigers, only fitting. We are going to set it to 3.5 minutes long. We are going to put it to very hard because I don't think I'm up to legend just yet. We are going to do a serpentine fantasy. So once it goes #1 through the number 18, it then goes 18 all the way back to #1. Season and finals included. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, time to get this draft underway. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see right there the Richmond Football Club has #1 pick overall. And we get that #1 pick to use with any player that's available in the 2018 season DLC. So we get all the original players plus all the rookies and other players that were added to the game. I think what we're going to do here is we'll do the first 10 to 12 picks in the draft, and then we will move over to the team completed after that to show you how I ended up drafting. But I've got someone in mind for pick #1. We wouldn't be Richmond without this man, and I think it's very befitting that we take him with pick #1. We are going to take Dustin Martin, pick #1 in the draft. Now, with the Serpentine draft, as I said, it's going to go all the way down to pick number 36, but we get back-to-back picks. It is a bit of a wait for us, but the fact that we get to take 2 picks back-to-back is a bit of an advantage for us because we can fill some gaps pretty quickly. The only thing is we run risk of losing some of the better players available. Have a look there. Ruck position, Max Gawn is the next best available player, and I think we're going to take him. Let's make sure we've got one of the premier ruckmen of the competition feeding the ball to Dustin Martin. And I saw another name there that at this point in the draft we'd be stupid not to pick up. I see him. Do you see him? If not, you're about to find out who we're going to take, because with pick number 3, we're taking Tom Mitchell from the Hawthorn Football Club, now a Tiger. Max Gawn feeding the ball to Dusty and Tom Mitchell. First 3 picks have been absolute fire. Pick 72. Some of the top elite talent are now going to start wavering, but I think we can still find some hidden gems. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of gems, from the Carlton Football Club, we're going to take Sam Doherty, put him at centre-half back. And I think it's befitting if we just took a backman. We need to have somebody up forward that can be our key man. Someone that we can get the ball to that's going to kick a lot of goals. Charlie Dixon is tempting. Charlie Dixon's there. We've also got Josh Caddy there. If we want to go the small route, we've got Michael Walters there. Charlie Dixon is very tempting. However, I'm a Tiger, and I think we're going to take Josh Caddy. I really like the Charlie Dixon pick, but we're going to go with Caddy. That was a tough one. I was tossing up between the two of them, but we'll go with Josh Caddy. Who can we pinch in the 5th round? Who's available? Wow. Clayton Oliver is still available in the 5th round. We're going to take Clayton Oliver. There is no question about that. Dustin Martin, Tom Mitchell, Clayton Oliver, and Max Gawn as your middle 4. And there was another player there that I'm surprised is there. So with our 6th overall pick, we're going to take Isaac Heaney from the Sydney Swans and chuck him down deep into the forward line as well. We are picking up some really good players here. I'm surprised Clayton Oliver was still available this late. Our first 6 are a very good core to build a team around. But let's have a look here. There's 2 names right there that I'm interested in, and they play opposite ends of the ground, and it will help balance out the fact that we've just taken a back and a forward with some earlier picks. We are going to take Luke Bruce from Hawthorn, and I'm thinking we're going to chuck him in the forward pocket, and he's going to be one of our main go-to guys to get some scores on the board. Up the opposite end, we're going to prevent some scores, and we're going to take someone who I think was very unlucky to miss All-Australian selection last season. We're going to go back to Sydney and take Jake Lloyd and throw him deep in the back pocket. The fact that both of those players were available this late. We're almost 200 picks deep and we just picked up Jake Lloyd. Let's see who else we can get around here. Who can we steal? Well, we need some outside runners. We need to have some wingmen. Jaeger O'Meara, the youngster from Hawthorn. We're going to chuck him on the outside. With our next pick, we could go the forward avenue with Jamie Elliott. I don't want to go to midfield picks here. I think we're going to go with Zach Tui. We'll take Zach Tui. We can run him off of a halfback flank. Add his penetrating kick out of our defensive line. With our next picks, we've already got Isaac Heaney, Bruce, and Caddy, but I think we'll focus on getting our forward line fully done up here. There's a few solid players right here on this list too. But having a look at the team I want to set up, there are 2 players that stand out to me. The first of which is Melbourne's Christian Petrarca. We can throw him deep into a forward pocket. The next player, we're going to run a little bit higher up the field off of a half forward flank. We're looking at Collingwood. We're taking Jordan De Goey. And that pick now means we are only 1 forward away from locking up our front 6. Our next pick is 252. I really don't know what avenue will go down now. We do need a few more defenders. We've only got 1 of 3 ruckmen as well, so we might look to see if there's any ruckmen available that we can have back up Max Gawn, just in case. There is a big man there. We've got Toby Nankervis from Richmond. If he's the next best ruckman available, we might bring him in. We could go with Menegola in the forward line, but I think we're going to take Toby Nankervis here. We'll have a decent, solid backup ruckman to help out Max Gawn. And I'm going to make this our last live pick. Who is available? We've still got Menegola there, but I want to have a look if there's any other names. There could be decent players underneath that we haven't seen yet, because the game ridiculously has some very weird ratings on some of these players. Joel Hamling in defence could be good. There we go. That's who I'm going to take. We're going to take Angus Brayshaw, throw him on the opposite wing to Jaeger O'Meara, and we now have our midfield set. I'm actually very happy with that. Our midfield is complete. We are 1 pick away from completing our forward line. We only need a couple more players in our defensive line to fill that up as well. Okay guys, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue this draft from this point on. And the next time you see the lineup is when we look at the team selection screen to kick off round 1. So sit tight, I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, so here we are. This is the team we have selected. The game has given us a 79 rating overall. I seriously don't know how we got a 79 rating. We've got a very solid team. However, I want to show you first the players in our reserves. Now, with some of the names in our reserves, it makes you wonder how good our main team really is if these guys aren't getting a gig. Kicking it off with Andrew Phillips, backup ruckman. We've got Nick Newman. We've got Jaden Short. We've got Sam Petrevsky-Seaton. We've got Jack Graham, Hugh Greenwood, Liam Bones-Jones, Jaden Stephenson, Jack Snags-Higgins, Will Setterfield, Rourke Smith, Tim Kelly, 67, can't believe that for Tim Kelly, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. One of the best young players in the comp. We've got Braden Pruce. He was the last pick in the draft overall, and although it's a 4th ruckman, gives us another tall forward option if we really need it. Charlie Spargo, Noah Bolter. I'm actually tipping him to debut Thursday night. Willie Rioli. They always say you need a Rioli to have a good premiership team, and he was the only one available. We've got Jake Long, Patrick Lipinski, Matt Guelphy, Ben Ronk, Cameron Polson, and Jackson Ross. That's our reserves list. There are some big names on that. Now to show you the quality of the players that we've drafted that are going to be in our best 22. Kicking it off in the back pocket with Tom Stewart. We've got Oscar McDonald at full back. I did wait a little bit too late in the draft and some of the better defenders were picked, but I still rate Oscar McDonald as a very good young defender in the competition. And obviously we've got Jake Lloyd in the other back pocket, consolidating our deep 3. We've got Zach Tui running off at the half-back flank next to Sam Doherty at centre-half back. And then we managed to pick up very late in the draft James Sicily. That rounds out our defensive 6. That is a very core defensive team. I love it. You saw these picks live. We've got Angus Brayshaw on the wing. Max Gawn is in the ruck. And Fremantle have Nathan Wilson as their ruckman. Okay, good luck with that one, Fremantle. But he was a very good pick. We got Tom Mitchell, one of the premier midfielders of the competition. Very upsetting to see him go down with the injury that's going to have him sidelined for 2019. But if you want to see him play, you can catch it right here. He's in the midfield of our draft team. He's not going anywhere. And he's going to be alongside Clayton Oliver. Absolute steal when we picked him up. And Dustin Martin, who I've picked as the captain for the Richmond Football Club. Our number 1 pick overall. Couldn't go past him. And Jaeger O'Meara rounding out our midfield. That is a very good unit. I seriously don't understand how we've only got a 79 rating overall. You're looking right now at the talent that we've got. Tell me how we've got a 79 rating overall. Anyway, there was only one player in our forward 6 that you guys didn't see drafted live. You saw the other 5 drafted. We took Luke Bruce in the forward pocket. The player you didn't see me draft, and we've got him thrown in at full forward, is Charlie Curnow. Fremantle with David Swallow at fullback. I'm very happy with the Curnow pick because he was very late in the draft. I'm glad he was still available. And we've obviously got Christian Petrarca in the other forward pocket. Our half forward line is very potent as well. We've got Jordan De Goey running off of a half forward flank. At centre half forward, and the man who's going to be setting up a few goals himself will be Josh Caddy. And then on the other half forward flank, we have Isaac Heaney. Tell me that is not an amazing starting 18. Given the fact that we had to wait so long between picks, I think we did very well to steal some of these players as late in the draft as we did. On our bench, we've got Toby Nankervis. Now, some of you might question the pick of taking Toby so early. We could have taken someone like a Sam Menegola. I wanted to make sure Max Gawn had some decent backup. Toby Nankervis available when he was, I think, was a good pick. We've got young Connor Blakely. He can run off a half-back flank. He can also go in the midfield if need be. But never fear, because in the end we still managed to pick up Sam Menegola anyway, a lot later than what I would have thought he would have gone. And we've got young Tim Taranto to round out our best 22. He can also go up forward as well as chipping out in the midfield. The good thing about a lot of the players we drafted is they can play in numerous positions, which makes positioning them on the field a hell of a lot easier. But if Tim Taranto isn't in the lineup, we have some other players that can come in. We've got Jaden Stephenson that can come into our forward line. We've got Snags Higgins that can come into the forward line. We've got Tim Kelly sitting on the bench, who is still severely underrated in this game. So as you can see, Fremantle will be the first team that we take on in round 1. Talking about the rules that I have set, we have injuries turned on, so if a player does get injured, we run the risk of losing them for X amount of weeks. Players can get reported as well, so we could lose players to suspension. I'm hoping we can avoid both, but as you've just seen with this lineup, we can afford to lose some players because we've got incredible depth. But that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you for joining me as always. Thank you for joining me for the first ever draft series that we're doing on the channel for any game. The next time we come back, we take on Fremantle in a round 1 clash to kick off our first ever AFL Evolution Fantasy Draft Series. If you did enjoy this video and are keen to see more, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way to supporting myself, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. If you're new to the channel, plenty of other content to check out. I urge you to do so, and if you enjoy what I'm throwing down, get on board the Godzirra Nation by hitting subscribe. All my social media links are down below. Feel free to reach out and hit me up on those. Hit that notification bell before you leave so you get notified every single time a brand new video hits the channel. Let me know in the comment section down below if you had the #1 pick overall in the AFL draft and they had a similar instance to what we just had where they hit reset, every single player is available to you. Who would you select with your #1 pick? But that's it from me, guys. I'm out of here, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.